So thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to talk to all of you
Absolutely.
and be on a platform where you have such amazing people today talking to you. So, what am I going to talk about? So, good evening, everyone. So, I've worked with and in very senior leadership positions in the automotive sector for now 15 years, actually. And today, I want to talk about glass ceilings and how many of us are trying to break them. Are trying to move around obstacles, trying to battle prejudice in our daily lives. And this talk, which I'm going to do around my learnings and experiences from my professional life, and my hope is that I'm able to inspire, maybe share, and all of you can learn and make your way through all these obstacles and experiences you may have as you pursue your life ahead in your career. Yeah. So today, many women experiences challenges at work and challenges that are beyond just the ambit of work pressures, deliveries, and performance. These are also experienced by our male colleagues, sure enough. Instead, what I refer to are the challenges which are separate from these, but they supplement them. Primarily because our society is driven by men, and hence so often are our workplaces, even our workplaces indeed. Globally, certain sectors have traditionally been male dominated, of course, and traditionally male bastion. Like if you look at the tech sector, you look at banking, you look at tech, or you look at automotive, all of them, and telecom as well. Such setups create, of course, natural barriers at work for women, while even the most supportive men, and I've had some great mentors in my life and they're very, very supportive, may find it difficult actually to fully support and appreciate these barriers. Simply because there are setups, there are hierarchies, there are guidelines, and there are norms which seem very organic and they are very natural to them. It's just the way our society is brought up. And it's going to take time to change. That being said, we must also appreciate and understand that it's far easier to do things now than it was 30 to 50 years back. Yeah. So, yes, things have improved. Organizations aspire to be more equitable, and the women customer, worker, boss has an identity of her own. Gender diversity, and this is very close to my heart. Gender diversity should not just be a number or a lip service. In fact, a lot needs to be done through programs and trainings to understand the need of equality, how it can benefit the organization, and not just a feel good factor. It is thanks to some brave, hardworking, credible women at work that I've had a lot of inspiration and people to look up to. I can just hope that my story and my experiences will inspire not just women, but also men to move forward with their obstacles and experiences. So I've been fortunate enough, like Shreya said, to work with some of the iconic brands in the country like BMW, Harley Davidson, MG, Yamaha. And I was part of the founding team, and this is very close to my heart. I was part of the founding team at Harley Davidson, and of course MG as well. During my career, I'd worked with both motorcycles and cars, something very exciting for both men and women. Some of them have been path breaking. At Harley Davidson, I was lucky enough to witness a time when the most powerful motorcycle was the Royal Enfield 500cc, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it, or maybe some of you ride it as well. To now, when it's possible for folks in India to own a 2000 plus motorcycle over 50 lakhs. And things have changed, and I'm glad that things have. But I'm a petrol head at heart. And often I had a mentor in my life who used to say, and it's very close to my heart, he used to often say, that four wheels move your body, but two wheels move your soul. And I think it's so true because I'm a rider myself and I sit on the motorcycle. It's just an amazing experience. It's so liberating. It's something which makes you feel you own the world. It helps you reflect. It helps you look at things very differently. And you feel extremely confident. I think you just feel that you can conquer the world if you're on two wheels and you can ride a motorcycle, but always with safety gear, with a helmet, with riding boots, and a safety riding gear always. So most of these organizations I spoke about, they're very best at what they do in terms of product, technology, brands. They also have some well-defined programs, standards of work ethics, employee advocacy, and of course, every organization has to be socially relevant today. So the good news is that things are changing because of the social norms and reporting, and organizations like these today are part of largest and most successful cohort businesses. But even within these organizations and many more in the corporate world, so much more needs to be done. And I think we have to take responsibility, especially when we are in the sphere of learning and doing, whatever courses we are doing, to become extremely confident of people who we are and be comfortable in our own skin. And I think most of you, are aspiring to do new things. It's very, very important to be very confident of the person you are. You don't have to. It's good to aspire. It's good to learn. It's good to look up to. But very important is to keep your identity safe. Who you are, like Usha ji was also saying, I was extremely happy that just just be very, very confident of the person you are. Yeah. And there are many scenario and aspects of stories of women and even men who've come across prejudices and issues, and acceptance, inability to showcase their complete potential, and even harassment, sometimes sexual or otherwise. So I want to talk about a story now, and I'm glad you guys put up that image. If you can just put that up again. Every good story, there's an origin. And I belong to a middle class family. My father worked in a bank all his life, and my mother was extremely busy raising three notorious kids. I have two elder brothers, and myself being most notorious, I think. We were given solid middle class values, and I think values go a long way. Be humble, be respectful, do your best with utmost sincerity, whatever you do. And the expectation was always to work hard for your goals. And I studied in different schools in different places like Kasauli, Jammu, Chandigarh, and I did my BCom and MBA and got placed in Yamaha. And I think like it was only then I truly understand when I was placed in Yamaha that what automotive sector work and how it works. And after that, my love for machines knew no boundaries. So the picture you see on the screen, actually, I'm going to talk about this. There is a story my mom tells me when I was a kid. In my room, there was a poster of a girl sitting on a motorcycle. And some images, I would say, really influence, energizes, prophesizes the life ahead. And this poster, which was put up by my mom in my bedroom more than almost 2 decades ago, almost on a whim, just like that, has been part of my ever growing journey in life. As a daughter, as a woman, as a professional working very closely with two-wheel beasts, to say so, I now look like, I look back sometimes and I admire that what a simple image can do and has done for me in my life. So dreaming is great. Please dream big. Dream that you can go to space. So dreaming is always good. Having aspirations, having dreams to conquer whatever you want is very, very important. Yeah. So in a sense, I am, of the millions of aspirational middle class Indians, some of you who may be listening in to me in the middle, is the middle class of India, filled with great ambition, aspiration, and often humble and honest with solid beginnings. And that's really where I come from. So why did I actually give you that backstory? And I think it was very important for me to give you that backstory because it is important, very, very important to know that just like me, there are many before my time and many after my time who will come and speak to you. Yeah, who will share similar challenges. When one talks about glass ceilings for women, one has to talk about gender diversity in companies. And companies need to truly understand what it takes to make women feel safe and acknowledged, not special. So there have been times, and to share with you, there have been times in meetings when I would be presenting to senior folks in the room, would automatically start flipping through emails or start seeing their phones, this would often never be, anything to do with the content of the presentation or my thoughts, what I'm presenting. Hence, I needed and one needed to try even harder to get their attention, let alone consideration or their inputs. Over the next few years, with growing in credibility, of course, and seniority and confidence, if such issues came up in any meetings, I would pause and let folks know this is disrespectful. A few times I even had to walk out of the meeting rooms. I was sometimes told that I did not have the skill set to perform something, even though I was clearly and objectively good at it. Even after giving the benefit of doubt, it was clear to me that unlike male colleagues, I may not be given a chance to prove myself for that particular project or anything which came my way. So I may not be given a chance, of course, to prove myself in that space. But however, I want to be very clear in what I'm trying to tell you guys about something is that women who wish to succeed in their work or in their life need to be good at what they do, but you don't have to be best at what you do. You should never feel disheartened. Like I said, you are your own true self, have your true identity, be a great professional with a lot of integrity and with a lot of passion. I think passion is very, very important when you do something because it drives the real energy in the youth. And I think that's very, very important. Respect gained by women at work not only reflects on herself, but it also is for many women who may along come your way or who will come after you. It is a great and a wonderful responsibility I think we as women hold on our shoulders, and one that should not be taken lightly. And I think I personally never take these things lightly. Mentorship, supporting your peers, supporting women is very, very important to change society. So often challenges increase, if people around you perceive that you are sharp, you're smart, and you're a confident woman. This could also be because it breaks the mold in some ways and a narrative for most men and women in the workplaces. In such cases, women may be questioned more often and thrown words at. Objections by women may be brushed aside. It's happened to me a lot of times. Many times these are supplemented with an advice, maybe from a senior. Cool it, why are you so serious? It was just a joke. So it is no wonder that instances of Me Too and workplaces harassment often are associated with such advices. So what I am sharing with you are a few of the biggest learnings, for my experiences. In conclusion, I would say following. Number one is actually commit fully with passion, with enthusiasm, and with the spirit of always learning that I'm going to perform every single time I'm going to do something. It's going to be with a lot of passion and with a lot of learning. Every single time I'm going to do better and I'm going to be a better professional. Yeah, so commit, perform, and execute. Yeah, execution is very, very important. Do not get disheartened on the way. We all face challenges. I faced in my career very big challenges, emotional challenges. Keep on moving. Yeah, support your teams, support your colleagues, and help people around you. I think that's as human beings, it's our responsibility to support the infrastructure or the cohort of businesses with people around us, because that's what humanity is all about. Yeah, and know the politics around your office, even if you don't want to follow it. It helps you to keep your guard up and to know what's happening around you. Yeah. And number three is really find a good mentor. They will teach you and guide you via experiences. They'll be around you when you need support. And having different mentors for different aspects of your life is totally personal. And I was fortunate to have great mentors who could guide me when I needed help. Yeah, or when I felt that I need to consult, or I had a great idea I wanted to explore. Yeah, so I think it's important to have a mentor who can be strict but also navigate the path for you. So I think these are the three things I will really, really say from my learning and experiences and my story, which I could give you as a takeaway. And I'm glad, and I didn't want you to make this speech very long. So I'm really, really happy that I'm on the platform. I shared with you things which I've never shared so much very openly. So thank you so much for listening to me in the end. And in conclusion, I just want to say that challenges are part of our lives. Yeah, because you're all going to go in this journey of your professional life, corporate world, or being an entrepreneur, or being a great dancer, or a musician, or a sports person, or maybe do something for yourself very different, or a social activist. So if you stop coming across challenges, and that means you really stop learning. So invite challenges in your life, right? And I just want to end with saying that oceans have waves and storms. Yeah, only small puddles are still. So attract challenges, win over them, and thank you so much. I wish you all really, really best of luck.